Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Game here on Gambit Digital, the show that's clearly not daily because, let's face it, video game news isn't that serious all the time. But today we have some interesting news in line with a lot of the stuff we cover, and that is that the SMACH Z, the portable console that plays PC games, the production for it has started finally. Now, if you go back, the SMACH Z has had quite the rocky history. This thing was originally pitched years ago on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and it made a lot of money to bring out, basically kind of like a Steam machine in your hands. It still has the Steam machine control layout that the original controller had, so that tells you how old this thing was. A lot of problems came up, a lot of people online with more information than me have covered this device, since we've only tangentially covered this device, and found out a lot of kind of troubling things around the SMACH Z, that it was fake, that it was just a shell they were showing off, that they were running, just basically vaporware, and that they were tricking people into getting more money. To, at the best case scenario, tricking people to get more money for funding to actually make this thing a reality. So, while this thing has gone into production, I'm not going to believe it myself until it's in my hands, much like the Atari console that still isn't out yet. It was supposed to be out in Christmas of last year. So you can tell I'm a little bit skeptical of these things. But the SMACH Z team has confirmed that providers that they're working with are already working on the internal components production, and that they have a delivery date or area for the device, and that mass production is going to go full ahead in Q1 of 2019. So that's it's been another year since this thing was announced before production even starts. So the history of this is really interesting. If you want to know more about the SMACH Z, you can look it up. You can head over to Stop, Drop, and Retro has a really good follow-up that they do on these sorts of devices, and if they're real or if they're scams, and they've done a lot of coverage on this and a lot of deep diving into it. But what we know right now is that after 2 years in development, the device is ready to go, coming to market. It's going to feature a 6-inch high-def touchscreen, and its hardware is based on the AMD Ryzen and AMD Vega graphics. So what's interesting to note here is, if my numbers are correct, just looking at this, when the SMACH Z went into Indiegogo or Kickstarter, I can't remember which one exactly was first, but they did both. The Ryzen chipsets weren't even out yet, and I'm not sure how heavily announced they were when this first launched. So that kind of tells you how long a cycle this thing has been going through. It's really interesting in that regard. They did release a video of an alpha version, which is surprising after all these years, running. What they have on here is GTA 5. I don't know. They don't show any details on how the games are side-loaded or what they are. It looks like it's just coming from Steam on this thing in this little device. A lot of people are concerned, and rightfully so. They have been kind of taken in by the SMACH Z people, and they're... I can't say that they're intentionally stealing money or intentionally doing anything wrong, but I could at the very least say from the research that I've done that they're very inexperienced in running a campaign or putting something like this together. So, I mean, the Ryzens weren't out. This thing looks like a Steam controller, which doesn't exist, based off things like a Steam box, which don't exist anymore. That tells you how behind schedule these things were. So that's what we know so far. Very few details, but an official release is still an official release. Is this something you'd be interested in? Is this something we'd be interested in? I don't know yet. I am not at all happy with them if they're going to be this long for this alpha build the way it is built right now. If you look on the right side of the device where it has the buttons, they're kind of flat, almost recessed buttons. They don't look really comfortable. And strangely enough, I know this is an alpha device, but they look set at different heights almost, and that looks like it would be a really big problem if it stays that way. But really the biggest thing that I can't get away from, and that kind of takes me away from this device if it does eventually come to market, is the main thumbstick controls, and it is emulating the very original Steam controller with the two circle touch pads that you move around, and those are just absolute garbage to play with any sort of game, really, because they were meant to kind of emulate a mouse motion onto your thumbs so you can do it smoothly and quickly. And there are some situations where that does work, especially when you look at the video and stuff, scrolling through your Steam list, going through the OS, the internet, and scrolling through YouTube and some stuff. It's actually pretty nice for things like that, but when it gets down to actual core gameplay, those things are atrocious. Now, there is a thumbstick on the left-hand side underneath one of the circle pads, which is cool, but there isn't one on the right-hand side, so you can't really pick and choose which one you're going to do. And after so many years of development, I don't know why they didn't just go to a standard kind of joystick layout since they've had this time. Is a little bit strange. They're really sticking to their guns with what it originally was, which is commendable in a sense. If you did back this project, it's looking like you're going to get what you backed for, even if it's been this long. So that's really cool on their part. So we'll see how this develops. They were just at a big trade show overseas. We'll expect to hear more from them. I don't know if they're going to be attending CES in 2019. We'll be there covering CES. So if they're there, we're going to try to get our hands on this device because it'll be the beginning of Q1. It's January, so we're getting started right there. So by that point, they should have a functioning demo that we can actually see and make sure that it's not, you know, just a screen that's transmitting from something else. I mean, because something like this is interesting and cool, but it's easily fakeable. And with the trust issues they've had, a lot of people online, even on this video that they have up on the release, are saying, hey, this is just, you know, a Steam link being streamed onto a screen or something, and there's like a Raspberry Pi shoved in there. That could be the case. I want to say it's not. I want to err on the side of this thing being real, just because that's the kind of person I am. I like cool technology bits, even though this is a kind of a monster console. And without a keyboard, I know it's touchscreen, so you'll be able to do it. A lot of PC games are just not going to be really viable on this device on the go. I mean, yes, a lot of them are ports now on consoles, so their controls are mapped to it, but these controls are just not comfortable, and I don't know how much it's going to cost and if it's going to be worth it to kind of deal with those problems and issues. Again, haven't got our hands on it, so we don't know how that's going to be. The idea is fine. Hopefully this all turns out for the best, even though this was probably, I think it was supposed to come out a few years ago. But hey, the idea of being able to run any game, any PC game on the go, people enjoy that, even though we have laptops, and that's kind of the idea of laptops. But you know, you get the idea. I mean, at this point, the case for this thing is probably the size of one of those mini laptops that are starting to become more and more powerful for gaming stuff. So who the hell knows? This is for a small market. This is for a niche. They're claiming it's not vaporware now, that they're really releasing it. We'll see what the internet has to say. I'm sure there'll be a lot of digging into this video that was just released today, into the details. You already have people saying, of course, like I said earlier, they're showing off GTA 5, and a lot of people were already saying, hey, the left thumbstick movements aren't matched to, you know, his movements on the screen, and I can't say one way or the other. I don't know the lag on this or how it's being worked. A lot of people are saying the controls are just, the whole image is fake. It's just a recording, or they're saying, hey, this is a Steam Link device, which is why you're getting that slight lag from motion back and forth. And there's just a lot of people. When you build a device like this and you start off weak, you're going to get a lot of skeptics, whether they're wrong or not. I mean, it comes with the territory of any new device to begin with, but when you screw it up as much as the SMACH Z people have, including the dumb name, this sort of thing comes with the territory. So let us know in the comments below, what do you think of this SMACH Z? Do you think it's actually coming out? Do you think it's still vaporware? Do you think they're faking the footage they have on display? Or are you excited for this? Is this something you would want to get? Are you happy getting a Steam controller with the screen on it, essentially, to play PC games on the go? I'm still on the fence. A lot of us here in the Ambit are still on the fence. Even hardcore PC gamers are on the fence. So that is yet to be determined. So until next time, we'll catch you guys later. You can visit us online, gambitmag.com, for all sorts of video game, technology, entertainment news on a daily basis. Or you can head over to Facebook and follow us there for daily content, daily videos, all sorts of interesting and fun and interactive content that you can use and enjoy. So until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.